Hello, everybody, and welcome to today's OpenONU Go call. Thanks for joining. As usual, the call is public and recorded and will be shared live on YouTube. So please be mindful of the comments you make and the information you share, given that the call will be released. So first of all, we have a final update, as I believe, on the software image for the ONU, image update for the ONU. The BB-Sim patch from myself, this has been merged. Actually, from Theo, I put some work on it, and then that's been merged. Michael Holger, do you have anything on this to be added?
No, I think the patch is okay, is good so. So we really see that the version is changing, and we can also put the same software version on both software images or software storage banks, and it looks okay for me. I think it's very good so.
Yeah, and meanwhile, I think also Hardek has worked on a robot test case for using the new upgrade APIs. I haven't looked at that. I'm not sure if that is already merged. Holger, do you know that already?
I don't know. Andrea, I think you have merged the
Yes,
new test case, right?
Yes, we did. We merged that. It's included in the upstream. So the 2.7 tests with the old patch, the 2.8 tests with the new set of commands, and that's done. So we should be good to go.
I had you have read I had the proposal that he should not use such a loop for the upgrade where he handles each ONU after the other, but instead I proposed that he could call the command for all the ONUs which are in the environment, but he said that he will probably make another test case or do it later or change it later.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there are a few other more urgent things on the testing front that we need to take care of than that. So I agree with Hardik on that front.
Okay.
Do we expect any further patch for the ONU software upgrade as of the release or like in the upcoming future?
I think I still have to investigate something that I still not managed to do. I think Holger made some tests with for the upgrade with multiple devices, and his statement was that so he tried for 4 devices, I think, and his statement was that it worked for 3 of the 4, but not for one not. I have not analyzed what is going on there, so I still have to do that and see if something comes out of this.
It looked like that if he lost one of the ONUs during download of the image, downloading the image, but okay, that has to be analyzed.
Okay.
That's why was I insisting on changing the test case accordingly.
Yeah, but the problem is apparently only then existing if you have multiple ONUs, and I guess this test case is only called in an environment at the moment where you have only one ONU. So in the regression, I would guess it should be no problem. Or
but looks like that Hardik test case is prepared for more ONUs, right?
yes, it might be prepared, but I guess it's only called in a single ONU environment. That's my assumption for the moment.
So reason is the question is why could we also put it into the multiple ONU environment?
We could. It's just, as I said, there are more important as priorities. I'll make sure Hardik takes a look at it today if he has time. Okay. Anything else on this one? No? Okay, great. Okay, on the crashes with persistency on, I believe this is all being fixed, both AT&T and Turk Telecom. Is that correct, Girish, Michael?
Yeah, I don't see them in multiple scale tests. So thanks, Mikhail and Holger. I would say this is fixed.
Great. Okay. Perfect. This still have to be worked on. This is something that we need to take a look at. Guys, Holger, Michael, would you have time to take a look at this by any chance? It's assigned to me, but I have like plenty other things on my plate. And
Andrea, that's assigned to me at the moment. I was planning to look at it tomorrow.
Oh, okay, sounds good. Okay, thanks, Dale. Then ping Michael and Holger if you have any thoughts on it.
Sounds good.
Okay. On the testing front, the updated, as I said, it's done. This is being concluded. Yeah, this is done. The NEG test, I think it's merged actually, right, Torsten?
Yes, it's merged and it's also run in the CI pipeline successfully for all three workflows, DT, AT&T, and TT, and for both environments, single as well as multiple ONU. And the next point, the SSH session, is currently in review. So I uploaded the patch and please take the time and make a review.
Okay, sounds good.
A very nice side effect of the SSH patch is, what I have observed, that it is much faster than the test. The sanity test is, or other words, it takes only half the time now, approximately.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. But it's only my observation. It's not official, but I see it and think, oh, very fast. Ready? Fine. Maybe we could check it.
Yeah, that will make sense though, because most of the time is actually spent establishing a new SSH connection, not running the command itself. So if we are using the connection, it should be much faster.
Well, good to know. Let's make a review of the patch and then we can take a look at the results when we merge it. Okay?
Okay. Thanks.
Perfect. Okay. Now come the two remaining things. Things that are not yet merged as functionality-wise, at least in the whole Volga. So the first one is the traffic descriptor ME. Mahir, Ozge, Michael, I haven't had the time to follow exactly what's going on. So what's the state of this?
Actually, I think the last change that are made by Özge are okay. For Michael also, I sent some say descriptions at the Slack direct message to Michael, and I think we are okay about the patch itself, but the way this thing is, it's getting failed on hardware tests. And when looking at the results, you see that it fails in different places. There are 3 tests that are run. For one of them failed at the 5th test case, the second one at the 2nd test case, and the last one at the 10th test case, the last test case. And when you look at the error messages, you see that generally the Monos applications have failed with the port number of ports. And when you look at the log files, you can see a lot of errors from OLT adapter and ONU adapter, sorry, RW core about indication processing, about flow deletion, about port deletion, etc. So I don't know what's the reason, and it seems a bit weird or chaotic, really. And these error messages are not related to our patch site. So
here we observed issues in the periodic Jenkins test 2, and had a look, and one of the inconsistencies in the at the moment is that RW core already consumed a new Volta libgo version number 5, which was introduced because of etcd performance enhancement, but OLT and ONU are not consuming the version number 5, but still rely on version number 4. And I think, Girish, we are addressing the change from the version 4 to version 5 in both in OLT and ONU with your new patches, right?
Yes, yes, I'm doing that.
And is it right that the OLT patch is also not merged yet?
No, not yet. I mean, there are a lot of unit tests failing, so I'm almost done.
And who made this change in RW core already?
I think it's made by Yasin's change from Netsia
So you guys,
for multi-image.
so just to understand, you guys think that it's just the Volta libgo version mismatch that causes these issues that we are seeing?
It could be. It's only a guess currently, because I see also a lot of errors in Kafka processing and so. What do you think, Michael?
Yeah, we discussed that today, and it was one possibility for the problems we see. But recently, I don't assume anymore that this is the real problem. I think we encountered a different problem, and the main argument against that, correct me if I'm wrong, is that we only see these problems in multi-ONU tests and not in a single ONU test. So I would discuss that also a little bit later. First, come back to the comments of Mahir that he sees these difficulties in the pod hardware test. I think that these tests are, I'm not sure. Maybe they are done for 3 ONUs or something like that.
Yes.
Maybe depending on
3
the.
ONUs, Michael.
Sorry.
It is 3 ONUs.
Yeah, 3 ONUs. But I think it's not the problem here. We have seen already some days before that these tests are working not quite stable. So they are failing from time to time. And we have already tried to analyze the real issue. They are failing, in my point of view, when checking some kind of data transmission in the tests, in different test cases. The problem is here that we have a problems in the logging, and mostly the logs are already stopped, finished, cancelled, whatever, before the critical phase of the test is done. So we were not yet able to really come down to the real source of the problems. So Mahir, in your case for the traffic descriptor patch, I would say that we shouldn't wait for the hardware test to complete successfully. We have to accept that it is not working stable for the moment. And as you said, I gave my okay already for the latest patch.
I don't particularly like this course of action, Michael, to be honest. The Tucson pod, it might be true that it was flaky a little bit, but whenever we made the patches compliant to the state of the master branch of everything else, it passed fairly consistently, let's say 9 out of 10. So 3 out of 3 failures to me tells me we shouldn't go forward. So
is that Andrea? Is this a generic problem? I mean, is there any other patches that we run hardware test and pass the test now?
We could try that, but my proposal is that given that we are currently in somewhat of a weird state with the version of Volta Live Go,
Yeah.
my proposal is let's make Girish finish his patches today. And tomorrow morning, our time, so I'll work with Odzge, Michael, and the rest of the folks to rebase that and test it again. Girish, do you think you're going to manage to merge your OLT adapter and ONU adapter patches today?
I can do that.
Okay, good. Then I think this is the right course of action, because right there we eliminate one element of confusion, we merge the patches, and then we test the final thing. I have to say, I would like this to be in tomorrow evening Central European. We already postponed code freeze a little bit too much, and I'd like tomorrow evening to be the code freeze. So let's make a push for this to rebase it and make everything working. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair. Okay.
By the way, there's one more element to this. So if my patches merge, then I need to update the Debian package as well. Otherwise, things will not work. So I'll have to submit all of the and update all of the our hardware parts with the latest Debian package.
I would be okay. I would be okay with that, Girish.
Okay.
So then you will update the hardware on the ONF labs also?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. On the multi-UNI front, I have a little bit of an update there. It seems that I have a working image with the changes for SADIS and OLT app in ONUS. Everything else has been merged. So the OpenONU adapter patch has been merged. The BBSIM implementation has been merged. Thanks to Theo for that, and thanks to the folks at Netsia for the OpenONU Go adapter patch. The tests have not yet been updated. I know Hardik is working on them to just possibly have a BBSIM-based implementation, but that's not something we have yet done.
Yes.
Although I have to say, the existing set of tests for single UNI, if nothing gets touched, pass with the code of multi-UNI, at least the basic ones we have done.
Yes. About that, Andrea, Hussein from Netsia, he also prepared a test case document for multi-UNI tests. Yeah, I think we can announce the test document and wait, ask for people comments.
Yeah, let me do that
For that.
next week's
Yeah.
test. Do you mind sending it over via email? And I'll add it to the next week's TST so we can discuss it over there.
Sorry?
Do you mind sending the document via email?
Yeah, yeah.
And
Okay,
I
of
will
course.
add it to the TST.
Okay, sure.
So the thing is that we need to, I would like to understand what is our target for the 2.8 release in terms of testing for multi-UNI. My take is that we should test at least a BBSIM implementation and have one hardware pod where we have this for maybe 1 or 2 ONUs, so we can test the telecom workflow with multi-UNI. But given the 2.8 timeframe, that's a little bit tight because we need physically to connect the stuff at ONF. I'm going to discuss it with Theo and Girish later, and Hardik as well. The BBSIM one, I feel more confident that we could do it. What's everybody's thought on this?
Yeah, I mean, BBSIM is good, but I mean, if you were to really claim this to be working, it has to be verified on hardware. But yeah, I mean, the deadline is so tight. You know,
Yeah,
it's tough.
the question is, you should, of course, do some traffic tests using the different UNI ports.
Yeah.
Really,
There are many things I would like to do as multi-UNI test. The document outlines them very much. The thing is, we don't have the time to do it right now. So we need to have a common minimum set of things that we can test. One thing is BBSIM, which is good, we can do it. And then my take is that we do just like an ONU with multi-UNI in the Turk Telecom tests on ONF hardware.
So just to know the expectation, maybe we should, I mean, we do the tests on hardware or not. We should come up with a test document just like the one we had for multi-TCON, what use cases that we want to test.
Yeah, I thought there was one already.
There is. Here it is.
Okay, yeah, that's good. Cool.
The tests outlined there are really, really good tests. I think we should achieve them all. There are a few that are not supported by BBSIM at the moment. So to me, I would be fine with having just the basic test that adds the subscriber to both unis, checks that everything is fine, and does the ping for both. That would be enough for me. But
okay.
Let's talk more about that later. Okay. Any more comments? For the patches for ONOS for this, I'm gonna be waiting for Netsia folks to tell me if it's I've updated the patches, so I'm waiting for them to come up with a yes or a no in terms of is it working with their workflow with my updated patches. It should be, but I just wanted to double check.
I think you talked with Yasin.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, good. Anything else on the multi-UNI?
so maybe here I can come back with the problems that we experience in our multi-ONU tests, also in the regression tests, also when testing locally now. These tests fail in our flow state tests at the moment. And it looks to me, we have not finally analyzed that in all situations, but it looks to me as if something has changed in the flow configuration from RW core, perhaps owners, I don't know. So using the AT&T scenario, for instance, we are expecting normally in multiple ONU usage that the according civilians are incremented by 1. So for instance, in a test case, 900 for first, 901 for the second, and so on. And this seems not to happen anymore. So the robot test case still expect this sequencing, but we receive a spacing of 4 now for each ONU. So that means we get 900 for the first one, 904 for the second one. And that looks to me, and it smells a little bit like some UNI 4-port spacing is already done somewhere.
It's the size of the BBSIM, right there. I think.
Yeah, so by default, BBSIM creates 4 ports, and so we need to allocate the tags to each port on the ONU now. And so that's why the first uni on the second ONU is not 901 anymore, but 904.
Yeah, but then that is the reason why all the multi-ONU tests will fail in our regression for the moment, because the robot test case must have the information about the correct numbering. And then we have to discuss how robot can get this information.
How did he get it before?
Yeah.
Can we just change the data?
Yeah, I think there is a configuration file in the tests, if I remember correctly.
So normally we just use these SADIS, BBSIM SADIS YAML files. And maybe they have to be updated, but yeah, I looked at, for example, the AT&T specific one, and there's only one entry with the VLAN 900. So seems the others are just incremented internally. I don't know. So for me, it's not clear. And yeah, the main thing is that.
Yeah, I'm not. So I'm looking in the Volta system test repo. I'm not sure which file we are using, but if you look at the one that, well, I can go in the test and figure that out, which one we're looking. Because if you look at the one that says like 2 LTs by 2 ONUs by 2 PON, that lists all of the ONUs and the CNS tags. I'll go look at which file we're using in the test.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Thank you.
if you have some information in this respect, then please use the Slack channel where Torsten is included, and because I think maybe he has to do some adaptation for that. We are still not sure.
Okay. Yeah, I think with that we can change the test and be good with it. It's a known change. We're not doing something, hiding something, so it's okay.
Yeah. So that just make sure the test is the Volta multiple OLTs OpenONU Go test BBC.
We have to check. In Torsten's overview, there are only short names, so I guess yes.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that started failing yesterday evening, so
Yeah.
seems accurate with the timeline.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. On the reconciling, I think this is done. We merged the patches for Go, for the Volta core, for the adapter, and for the OLT adapter, for the new adapter, and for the OLT adapter. So we left the decision to the operator. We can call this done. It's not really anything else to do here, which is great. Any more questions or comments on this one?
Actually, Malinda wanted to refine the results, why the reconciling was failing, but this was shifted to 2.9, right?
Yeah, at the moment, this is good enough for 2.8.
Yeah, I see.
Okay, okay, good. On the PM configs, I know there is one remaining patch from Imani. Imani Grish, what's the status of that?
Yeah, actually, the OpenOLT adapter patches are merged, so the counters which are fetched from the OLT, so that part is working. But the OpenONU adapter patch is pending. The MEs are being are getting created, but when I'm trying to fetch the attributes with that ME instance, so that is failing with parameter error, but there is no failure mask set in the message. So I was trying to debug where is this issue. So some parameter is not set properly while fetching the attributes. So I need to discuss it with someone. I'm checking it with Michael, but I think either the issues in fetching the parameter or in OMCI lib, I'm not sure.
Okay. Do we have a feeling if this can be done in like by the end of tomorrow evening Pacific Standard Time? Because I would like to call tomorrow evening Pacific Standard code freeze.
Okay. The issue should, I need to identify the issue first because I don't know actually is what is the error actually. So based on that, I can identify like what all changes I need to do. Other than that, there is one more patch which is on the Volcatel for the same command. That one, if everyone reviews, we can merge that one because there is no dependency on the code.
Well, it doesn't really make much sense to me if the implementation is not there to merge the both tier patch, because
Okay.
then you go in and say, oh, that might be working, and then it doesn't. So I'll just wait for this, given that it can go in at any time.
Okay.
Yeah, so Himani communicated the traces for that just some moments ago. I'll have to look at that. Himani, you did not mention which modem you use for the test. Perhaps
Actually, Girish has tested the changes, so I'll bring you the necessary details.
You mean the ONU vendors?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was alpha. I mean, the one with the weirdest behavior.
Yeah.
But
Okay. So it still might be that this ONU does not correctly support the extended 64-bit implementation and does not correctly react on the create request because it's accepting that, but maybe it does just not accept the get request on that. So Himani, perhaps you can already consider to extend the detection mechanism for the counter gets to extend that for also the get request. So in this case, if you receive the parameter error on the get request, you could also try to skip the requests for the 64-bit counters, but try the 32-bit counters as the next try. So I'm not sure if I will get something other out of the trace. I will see, but I think it's anyway a good idea if you have this situation where the create response is correct, but the get response shows some error, then you still can indicate that 64-bit counters are not correctly supported and try to use the 32-bit counters.
Okay, but that will take some time, and I think that the current command will lead to timeout. So either we'll have to increase the timeout.
I can imagine that it's not that easy and simple, so it might be quite short for the 2.8 release tomorrow. Yeah.
Himani, I think I might have an Iskratel ONU on my part, so I'll see what I get, what I get from that. But I still think that this one is important because it fetches the current data for the Ethernet PM and could be very useful given that this is a LTS release. That's my opinion, Andrea. If possible, we should try to get this in. She has done some great work, and this is an important feature going into the LTS.
Yes, at least we could also try to start with that, because it really might be that it is some missing support on the alpha ONU, and other ONUs may behave correctly and respond correctly, so we get the right responses from them. So the only thing that I would recommend in any way is this strategy that I mentioned, but I know it's not that easy to implement. So if we don't have that for the moment, then we have to live for the initial release that in this specific situation, no counters are delivered because the behavior of the ONU is a little bit, let's say, undefined.
If you give me like a couple of minutes, I'm on my hardware, so I can, before the end of this call, I should have the results.
And I'll give you as a response on the traces, Himani, this evening in some minutes after the call.
Okay.
If I see something strange there or not.
Okay.
Okay. Thanks, guys. It's appreciated. It's good. Okay. This has, I think, dropped in priority, but if you have any update, Chip, let's take it.
Yeah, the OMCI supports is done. So I don't think anyone's actually making any use of it though.
Okay, I can create a Jira for this to implement, to make use of this extended in the release 2.9 or future releases. Okay. How about this one? Michael Holder?
Yes, we have analyzed some regression test failures in respect to the soft reboot, which appeared from time to time, and I think there was still some not quite accurate implementation, so I provided a patch for that. This patch is available, and in my point of view, should still be merged. So this is this mostly happens for the cases where the soft reboot test case fails.
Which patch are we talking about, Michael?
Yes, this one.
This one? Oh, interesting. Okay, I haven't had the time to take a look at this. This is important. I will.
Yeah, this is one side of the story. I hope that with that the behavior of the ONU adapter is more consistent. But we also saw some problems on the, I don't know, it's either RV core related or BBSIM. I didn't catch that. That was related that to some behavior where the OLT adapter does not forward the OMSI messages received from ONU to the ONU adapter anymore. There's an according bug JIRA entry created, and yeah, that should be analyzed in next time. I guess it's not possible in the current 2.8 release anymore.
Is there a JIRA for that?
Yeah, there's a JIRA. Don't ask me for the number. Do you want the JIRA number?
I'll just assign a bullet to you here. Add JIRA.
Okay.
Whenever you cross it, it's no problem. Okay. I think that was pretty much it.
Okay, so Andrea and Himani probably. Yeah, I have an update from Iskratel. So this is the brand new Iskratel ONU that we received recently. So it does not support the 64-bit counter, but I think the 32-bit counter was created. But when you try to fetch the counters, it throws the same error, parameter error. So I would think there probably might be some issue in the get current data message that we are
okay. Thank you, Girish. That sounds it's more probable a problem there.
I'll share these logs with with Himani and Michael. If it interests you, I'll copy you in that mail as well.
Fine.
Okay, so the problem is with the request sheet.
Most likely, I mean, not sure. You'll have. I mean, it points to that with two ONUs throwing the same error.
Yeah. Okay. But the problem is the logs are not giving the information like which parameter is actually giving the error.
Just let me see. Yeah, I mean, I don't think this log is. Yeah, I don't think the mask is set for this ONU as well. I'm not sure. Okay, I'll share this log. I mean, we can have a look later.
Okay, sure.
Okay, sounds good. Before we close, is there anything else that needs to be discussed?
Andrea, I have to say something about traffic descriptor patches.
Yeah.
I said we will expand the scope of traffic descriptor patch yesterday, but my final patch doesn't include a delete mechanism for traffic descriptor ME. Also, I created an issue on JIRA about delete traffic descriptor ME.
Okay, so what's the next step there?
Yeah.
It said
it
that
will be next step.
We said before that we would hold until Girish merges his patches, rebase this one,
Yeah.
and then test this one again. So if you have something to push to it, just do it today, so we can.
No, I will not push today. I will. It will be my next step, but I will not push today.
So we're saying that this is not going to be into 2.8?
Yeah, probably.
What is your statement, Oscar? It is generally not working to assign the traffic descriptors?
No,
or?
it is working. It is create a traffic descriptor, but you know, we need to delete traffic descriptor EMI when we delete jump port. So I didn't this mechanism in my final patch.
Yeah, this is something. Yeah, this is something that, in my point of view, was also mentioned in the comments somewhere. But I think that we can still live without that implementation. So you, of course, you have to do something on that. But if we take the current patch that does not support the delete, it is, in my point of view, is not a big problem, because the ME itself, if it is created by the OLT, it does not have any influence. So the only thing is it assigned to the Gamport network CTP or not? And the only thing that is currently the case is that this, if there should be some deletion, then it is not done. But the system, in my point of view, at the moment does not support anyway the deletion of meter configurations. So it's
yeah, you have a point, and I saw your comment on my patch. You're right.
Michael, I agree with you that it is not an urgent thing. I mean, and it is, we can separate it from the current traffic descriptor task. And actually, we didn't put the remove in the task. So if we can do it in a few days until the code freeze, we can upload the patch set. I think, Özge, you prepared something but not yet tested.
Yes, you're right.
If we cannot do it in Water 2.8, it is not a crucial thing, I think, removing the meters.
Yeah, my proposal would just be to do that in a different story, in a different patch.
Yes.
So leave the current patch stable.
Yeah, correct. We will
then, then it can be included in the code freeze, hopefully tomorrow, and deliver the extensions then later on in a separate patch.
Yeah, because of that, I created new issue on Jira.
Yeah, you created a new story for that. Okay.
Okay.
One more thing. This needs to be tested at scale as well, because it includes more information in the in the data that is stored by the new adapter. So whenever the merging of Girish's patch is done, we need to take this one and put it on top of those and run the same scale test that we are running now. Because right now we are consistently passing on the AWS cluster. So we need to make sure that this patch does not break that because of the amount of data that is getting stored. I don't believe so, but it's something that needs to be done.
Okay. Andrea?
Yeah.
I mean, if it fails, what will be the action? Don't we put the patch and say future?
I didn't understand. So if it fails the scale
if
test,
it fails in scale test,
yeah,
then What will be the action then?
The design will need to be reviewed. Yeah.
It will not fail, but yeah, I mean, just for the sake of it, we'll run it. If it fails, I mean, I haven't even thought about it. Probably Andrea, you can.
Okay. Okay. Any further comments or questions? Well, if not, thanks everybody for joining. As usual, I'll publish the recording as soon as I can. And let's put together the final push for getting this done. Thanks, everybody. Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye
Bye,
bye.
guys.